Hey guys, Juti here with another Tekken 7 video, and in today's episode of Tekken Troubles, we're going to learn how to deal with Steve's extended ducking forward to unblockable. So a lot of people actually don't know what's going on here, so let's break it down, shall we? If you block the first portion of this string, you are actually at minus 15. Yes, you heard that right. That means that Steve is guaranteed the follow-up of the string. It works kinda like Lydia's Heaven and Earth 1+2 into Guaranteed Political Storm, so keep that in mind. Yeah, and the solution just like that is actually to duck it. Yes, simple solution means you don't need to watch the rest of this video, just duck it. Nah. On a serious note, there are other things just like with Lydia's Heaven and Earth stance which can be mixed into the bunch to make life a bit difficult for you. So first, let's break down the extended ducking stance so you actually understand what's happening here. Steve is inputting the ducking stance, but he's holding the inputs a bit longer, so it's followed by a kind of twist at the end, accompanied with a sound cue. Keep the sound cue in mind because it's going to be important later on. If he doesn't do this, and he inputs the forward 2, it doesn't have any sparks like with the extended ducking stance, and there are no follow-ups guaranteed. So what kind of other options does Steve have? First of all, he has his one option out of the stance, which is a safe on block mid at -7. However, keep in mind that it's also a counter hit launcher. Then he has a regular 2 input, which is also a launcher at -14 on block. However, keep the pushback in mind when trying to punish this. And then lastly, he has the Gatling gun option, which honestly you won't be seeing that often outside of combos. Yeah, let's look at the stance again in itself. And what you've noticed maybe by now is that it goes underneath highs, right? The other thing you should take away about the stance is that if Steve opts not to go for any of the options at all, he can't immediately low parry. So it doesn't matter if he does the regular ducking or the extended ducking, he can't immediately low parry, which brings us to our first option select for all of these versions, which is a generic crouch jab. Yes, you heard that right. The same tactic Steve has been using to shut down a whole lot of your stuff, you're also now going to use it to shut this down. However, keep in mind that you have to practice this so that you can react quick enough. Keep the sound cue in mind, and you can shut down all of these options. That also brings us to the second option select, that is, if your character has a generic down forward 1, which comes out at -13, you can shut down all of these. You just have to practice it a bit and get your reactions there quick enough. Of course, we also have the option of a parry. So if your character has a punch parry or a regular parry, since all of these options are mids or highs, you can parry all of these. Yeah, now I just want to look at the stepping philosophy for all of these versions. So it's not that important if you're just starting off, but it's maybe important if you're a bit higher up there. Yeah, let's start off first of all with the problematic move itself. The extended ducking forward 2. Yeah, it tracks to both sides, so it's not steppable. Your only option is actually to duck it. Now let's look at the next option, which is the 1 input, and this is actually steppable to the left, so Steve's weak side generally. However, you can't just be sidewalking mindlessly, you have to time it properly. So if you start stepping or start walking when he's just starting the ducking stance or the extended ducking stance, this is still going to hit you. And the same goes for the next version, which is the 2 launcher. So timing is very important. You have to practice this a bit to get the timing down. Because now you also have a kind of like an option select for both of these, and that is doing a sidestep left or sidewalk left duck. Of course, the timing is important, so you're going to have to practice this. You will go underneath the high option, which is the problematic one, and then you will also be able to step the other 2 versions. However, the Gatling gun option just needs to be mentioned here, and that is it tracks to the left, to Steve's weak side. However, it can be stepped to the right. Keep in mind though that I mentioned that you won't be seeing this often outside of combos, so don't worry too much about it, honestly. So that brings us to the end of this video. Remember, practice it, because knowing is only half of the thing. You actually have to go and practice it. You know the drill. If you liked the video, leave a like. Consider subscribing, because of course I'm going to be putting out more such videos. This is your boy Juti, and I'll see you on the next video.